You are ready? Are you?
Yeah.
Good. Usually this kind of event starts with the opening speech. As today, I'm not the speaker. The speaker is the most valuable player of this event. He's a member of the board at Finnish Drupal Association. He's the CTO of Vice Productions. Simply, without this guy, this event wouldn't be even possible. So please welcome to the stage with a huge applause, Christian Poso. Thank you, Will. So yeah, everybody, welcome to DrupalCamp Turku 2016. Okay, first of all, let's get some general information out. So the Wi-Fi is Spark Up, and the password is Master Up. I know that the Wi-Fi is really important in these kind of events. What else? The bathrooms in this venue you can find over there by the wall and also upstairs at the same wall. So upstairs and downstairs. And if you're tweeting out about this event today, official hashtag is DrupalCampFI. So please use that if you use Twitter or Instagram or whatever social media you're into. Yeah. First, some thank you to our sponsors. So thanks to all our gold sponsors: Crowd, Boost Turku, KVD, Drupaletti, and Avoltos. And also thank you to our silver sponsors. But now I think our venue owner would like to have a couple of words about this. So, Johanna, stage is yours.
Hey everybody, I'm Juri from Boost. First of all, welcome to Spark Up. This place is a open co-working space. So, if your office is bad or you don't get anything done, you're welcome to come here. The downstairs upstairs, all usable for you. This is run by Turku Science Park and Boost. And on behalf of Boost, welcome. I hope you have a great day. Hope you learn some new stuff. And most of all, I hope you network with each other. That's what this building is for. So, thanks.
Yeah, thank you, and of course thank you for this awesome venue. And Drupal Association also wants to remind that they have a supporting partner membership available, which is a membership for companies on Drupal.org. So you can get like member discounts and your contribution, your financial contribution supports the community by itself. So please consider that if you are really into Drupal community or you benefit from Drupal community in your work. The schedule you can find on these screens today. As you can see, we have around five speaks today, and lunch will be served at 12:30. This will be on for the whole day, so just lost time, then you can see the schedule over here. The lunch will be served at Deli Pharma, Itäinen Vitkatu 4. So that is when you go outside the door and turn left, then a couple of blocks, there should be a restaurant called Deli Pharma. It's pretty easy to find, and there's also a map for that place. It's a buffet, so the lunch is served from 12:30 to 13:30. So you're not scheduled there, but please do remember that the next week starts at 13:30. So being on time here back. And of course, the after party that will be at Ravintola Kultainen Hirvi at Itäinen Vitkatu 12. And yeah, of course, it's a bar, some drink tickets and pizza available. So if you want to have some pizza or beer for free, be early there. And tomorrow will be a community sprint at the Wunderkrug office. It will be from around 11 to 7 p.m. and that will be at the Wunderkrug office here in downtown Turku, Aurika 214. So that's right next to Kauppatorg, and it's really a central location. And of course, everybody is welcome there, even if you haven't never been to a community sprint or just haven't have never contributed to Drupal. This is a great place to start on this weekend. You know how to do it, and it's really an awesome time. But yeah, that's pretty much everything from me. So have fun today, network, and so on. And let's start with our first presentation from Ruben from Tieto, all the way from Stockholm.
DrupalCamp, but it's good to be here again. So we're going to talk about the Headless Drupal, in this case Headless Drupal 8. And you have the hashtags there if you want to complain about the session. And you can also just send some tweets to me. You can like. Yeah, only. Yeah. Okay, how many front-end developers are in the here? Yeah, now that's not many. Are back-end developers? Yeah, good. Who are not developer? Good. Okay, so you're not like this session. So first, activities. This is what everybody complains about the front-end since Drupal. And yeah, that's a terrible issue. And yeah, you know, that's something that people hate a lot, and that's one of the reasons that a lot of people abandon Drupal, because it was a pain in the ass to theme, for example, the menu or the paper or some. And in other frameworks, it's easier. This is so important that you will have a Drupal account, mostly to promote them. And on the other hand, we have modules that they help sometimes. Yeah, they help sometimes. You know, panels module. Who use panels? Okay, with a string. I want to do it here. Let's do that second. Who use panels for theming or display suite? Yeah, it's coming back. sorry for that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna play it again. No? That's gonna be much better. Yeah, that's better, so I can look there. Okay, we are back. So who uses Spanish? Oh, everybody knows Spanish? Yeah, Visual Suite or something. Yeah, those are modules created to fix the problem of activities and the problem of theming in Drupal. Yeah, so when you need a country module to fix a problem that is core, then you start to wonder why the problem is in core, why you don't fix the problem in core. So that's the reason why in Drupal 8 we have tweak and other things. So, but we still have a problem that the front end is always ahead of other technologies. So this is a quote from Edith in DrupalCamp Amsterdam, and yes, this means that every time we have new front-end technologies that they offer really good things, but we have obsolete backends and obsolete frameworks that they don't give that support, they don't have really easy integration with these libraries. That's a real problem. And you know what is the JavaScript framework ecosystem? You know. So, on the other hand, there is a need from the people from the market, because now we have apps and web apps, you know, the responsive web and this kind of stuff. And it's important that people have really fast websites, they can access from their mobile phones. So this is something, this is the hand, okay? On the other hand, we have also browser-less devices. So anyone knows how you can access Drupal from an Apple Watch? Not that Apple Watch. You know how to access? Idea. So you don't have a browser, how you can just get data from Drupal or from a backend page? Yeah, I'm going to explain that later. We have also Internet of Things. We have a lot of sensors, small devices that communicate data or retrieve some data, beacon, this kind of stuff. Those are also, they also need to communicate with a platform, a backend or something, to just set the data, retrieve data, process the data, and do something. And also they don't have a browser. So in this case, we are talking about building applications. We are not talking about building websites or web applications. We are building applications. So we should think about that you are going to have a browser all the time, and you also have different browsers. You have IE still around the market. And yeah, when you develop something, you have to consider that probably you are not going to use this application using the browser. And now Drupal 8 is out. Who just tried Drupal 8? Everybody tried? Who has not tried? Good. And then come to the sprints tomorrow, then you're going to try it. Okay? You can install it or come tomorrow to the sprints, and then you can have a look, and probably you can just help to find that. Okay? And then you're going to learn a lot. So we have tried out 2 years late, approximately. Okay? But it's there. I think it comes with a lot of new features, really good things, and the architecture is one of the best improvements. It's a loose couple architecture. That means that we can separate portions, components of Drupal. We can just use them separately, so we don't have a really big community, we are just sharing code and also keeping the maintenance of some libraries out from code. So that is helping for Drupal to evolve faster. Tweaks also library from Symfony, so that helps a lot. And Drupal 8 frontend is Martin DK certified. I don't know if you know Martin DK. He's a Danish guy, but he loves to troll bits. He's not a guy. Yeah, now a little bit older. And they did like the consensus Nana. There was like some stuff that they decide. Yeah, and they decided to clean up all the frontend. So start to remove the DVDs, start to use Click the real way, and create. We have two new themes in core. One is classy and the other is stable. And then you can use them depending on what you want to use. So if you want to use default classes or not, or use the default styling from Drupal, or you want to start from scratch with your own library. So why this reason? Because as I said, if you want to use a front-end library, now it's easier because you don't have that by default. Let's say that you want to use Bootstrap, then you can use Bootstrap. Who likes Bootstrap? No, just kidding. You can use Bootstrap right now. It's really easy in Drupal. And then you can use your backup, your JavaScript library, whatever. So that's pretty easy. Then also Big Pipe. Who knows what is Big Pipe? Yeah, it's not that Big Pipe. Big Pipe is a technology that the idea came from Facebook. So he was working in Facebook. I guess he just got the idea from there. And it's like the way that the information is loaded, like lazy loaded. I guess you experience that when you visit the Facebook website, that you get some boxes, like they simulate the content, but it's not real content. They're like gray boxes that they have the experience that something is loading, but it's not completely loaded. And when it's loaded, it shows the content. So we are using the same technology in Drupal 8. So you can configure what blocks are gonna take some time to load, and then they loads on the page. But those blocks that, for example, need some backend processes, or they need to query or request something from a service, so the content, all the information is gonna take a few more time to load. The whole page is not stood in loading until this content comes. So the first it loads all the page, and then when this block finishes to process or something, then it loads. So that's more or less Big Pipe. Right now we have the module in core. First was like separated, now it's in core. I just recommend to have a look. And also it's a lot of testing. On the other hand, we have a lot of accessibility issues that are fixed in Drupal, not only accessibility, but usability and new improvements in the Drupal 8. So that allows to offer a better experience without needing external libraries or without needing just the front end. We have also translations that are in core. It's easy to do multilingual websites with Drupal 8. That's something that probably when you use a front-end framework, let's say Angular, how do you handle multilingual websites with Angular? You know, so in this case, it's easier to handle because everything is in core and it's super easy. And some security issues. Now also Twig offers a new security layer on top of the front end, so that allows to build more secure. In Drupal 7, you can just put a lot of SQL queries in your templates. The front end guys say, yeah, what is this? So right now it's getting there. What is the decision here? So let's say that you have a Drupal site, but instead using, let's say that you want to use the Drupal site, you want to replace the front end because you need to offer a different solution. As I say, used to build a really complex application, like in a really bunch of everything in the same application over different features. So you have your corporate website, but you also have your store, and you just put all the store functionalities and everything inside your application. You say, yeah, I also need the integration with some other services, and you add the functionalities on top of that application. So you start to build something that is really huge and maintainable, so that's what we call monolithic applications. And on the other hand, you have microservices. Microservices is like you have a small applications that communicate with each other using services. So more or less this is the approach that the standards are following, and this is starting to be really better to maintain, easier to replace. Let's say that you have your WordPress blog and you want to replace it with a Drupal blog. Right now it's like easier. You just put out WordPress, you just put Drupal blog, you just configure the endpoints of the web services and continue running. And if one of the web services or one of the platforms goes down, then the whole system will go down, so they continue working. So more or less this is the separation of functionalities. That's the approach. But that's also the approach that we did in core, like separating functionalities and it's to reuse and it's to use independent components. So coming back to the first problem, when you have a platform and you want to offer a different front-end solution. So what is that? It's the coupling, like I say, separating. The coupling. So this term is getting really popular right now in the Drupal world because there's a discussion if we should go full decouple or progressive go uncouple. Yes, in the last DrupalCamp and this in the last meeting, just explained that he would like to go ahead with a progressive decoupling thingy, and then he started flaming in Twitter and his blog and blah blah. So discussing, yeah, why we should just replace the front end of Drupal, and yeah, why don't we add Node.js into the Drupal front end? So you can just go to Drupal or go to Twitter or any social network, and then you're going to find out information about this discussion. Because, in the other hand, it came in the same time when WordPress replaced their admin. It's not replaced, but they offer a different admin area that's based in React. And it's called Calypso. Do you know about that? Okay. So right now, the admin area in WordPress is you can access all admin area as usual, or you can use Calypso, that is admin area development and uses web services to communicate with WordPress, and then you can do your configuration, your stuff using that. And it's based on React, and yeah, I've been through the code. It's a little bit messy. I guess they're not using React the right way, but yeah, they're getting there. But it's an idea, and it's the discussion continue. Like, okay, should we do the same in Drupal? Like, replace the admin area with something different, which use web services. So right now, Drupal core is not complete. Not everything can be handled using web services, but probably we are in the 40-50% of the Drupal entities or components that can be handled using web services. So right now you have nodes, you have users, you have blogs, you have taxonomy terms. All these are can be handled using web services. You have the API, you can just enable the components. I'm going to do a demo after that. So why not we do that? Yeah, I guess it's a terrible mistake just to replace the admin area. As I said, because for example, we have to cover translations, we have to cover security, we have to cover lot of things that they are already covered by Drupal. So you replace everything with a new front layer. You have to duplicate the work. So you have to cover the translation, you have to cover all this stuff, the accessibility. So I guess it's a terrible mistake, but yeah. Join the discussion and also just feel free to just come to me and just discuss it later. Everybody, some years. That's good. So, Headless Drupal 8, it has a Drupal group where you can just also have access to resources and understand how is the project or the initiative going. Okay. So first, we don't need country because in Drupal 7 you can just enable web services platform, but you need a few modules. One is services, and the other was the something to enable web services for video. So right now it's core, then you have those modules. You only need to enable them, and then set the permissions. This is important because sometimes you say it's not working because you didn't enable the permissions. And then you have access to the entities using web services and these methods like CRUD, like create, read, update, or delete. I'm gonna go a little bit in Git right now, so stop me, you need help. This is a request to create a node using core. Instead of using core, you can use post Ajax post query request, or you can do just pick your poison. So what it does is just create a node that it has here. No, okay. You can see their title and then you create a node with that title and that body. That's a bit straightforward. You can create taxonomies. This is what you get. The response is 201 is good. This is a request. That is just a get request, and then you just tell them the ID that you want to retrieve, and also the format. I'm going to go through how to and illustrate them. This is the response. You get all the information on the node. There is a lot of good information there, and then you can just do a query to, for example, if a node has some taxonomy terms, then you can access the taxonomy terms from that node using another request. So that's good. This update, like it's when you change an 16 node, and that's the same. Just provide the node ID and then just provide the new data. This is the response. This is 200 for node content, but as soon as it's 200, it's good. And delete. Yeah, just pass the node ID that you want to delete, and you can delete it. Everything using the command or using any framework or anything that you want to do. As long as it supports HTTP requests, then you can just use everything. As I said, even a small set can do it. This is the response for the delete. And now BUs is core. Was a really good thing. And you have also the possibility of export a BU using that's the that. And as you can see, this is thanks to Peter. There is a Belgian guy that is super free. And it happens, I guess, 2 years ago. We've been in Hungary in Drupalathon. That is a pretty good event. I spent vacation. We are in the biggest lake in Europe. You know, super warm, really good Hungarian food, really good banka. And then I've been working for this presentation. And then I was testing the views, the REST views. And I was discussing what there is not option. When you're going to create the view, and you have the option to create the page or block, but not create the REST export of the view. You have to create the view first, and then you have one option, and say, yeah, you don't do it immediately. And then Peter was listening to me and says, yeah, it's a good idea. Wait a second. And he just did this job, and in a lot of hours, the patch feature in core only because we've been discussing this thing in a code sprint. So again, come to code sprint. Okay? It's important. Sometimes you find you have a good idea, and that idea can go to core. Okay? So remember that Drupal is not made by trees because he don't code anymore, and it's not made by a company. Drupal is made by people like you that spend your time coming here, listening to my crap. Okay, and you know that's the idea, that's how it works, and that's how Drupal is built. This is a REST export. I mean, it's a normal view, and then you can add fields, you can add filters. So it's the same way that you use views, but the result is not going to be markup. It's going to be HAL or you can as you create a big page, and then just get request. You can be only retrieved using get because you can update. And you get the response like tons of stuff. Okay. So what is JSON? This is HAL, or is a syntax, and more or less HAL explains how your API works. So it explains what is your endpoint, and explains also either other entities or other embedded stuff in your request. It helps to understand how the API works, and also if you can just query for more things in your response. That's super pros, and yeah, that's good. And JSON is just the content. Just you use JSON only because you want the data, but you don't care about the API itself because you have a description of the API anywhere. So more or less that's the difference. Yeah, this you can enable JSON for because by default in core it's enabled only, and then you can enable the JSON request. You want the JSON request. This you can do it by just doing updating that configuration file, and then you can see that they are testing again and try to fix because it was not working last time. And this is super. And you can enable just clicking, you can enable new entities, and then you can access different entities. You can see there. You can access anyone, and yeah, expose your. This is a sample request for a view, and you can just get a cleaner response from the view, just configuring those formats, and then you can use the raw output. I'm going to show that later. And then you get only the information that you want with no crap. That's good. Yeah, this is about the web services in Drupal. And what is GraphQL? Anybody knows what is GraphQL? Yeah. Okay, this is another technology developed by Facebook, and that changes the game rules about the web services and how you access the information in your platform. So this is like a syntax, like a query, a different syntax to make queries, and yeah, you can access the information in a better way than doing this kind of requests that they are not meaningful. And also GraphQL automatically discovers new entities or new access or new the new information that you have in your database. It automatically discovers it. This is the Fabi and Sebastian from Austria, and he started the Drupal 8 the Drupal 8 module for GraphQL, that is the JavaScript library, to do the queries as GraphQL syntax, and also did the implementation of using views and accessing the Drupal database. using GraphQL. I tried to do a demo of this, but I messed my environment. But tomorrow in the code sprints, if you are interested in that, I'm gonna try to fix it and then show you the GraphQL doing queries into Drupal with the module. That's pretty good. And also he started this development, and then Akia sponsored his hours to finish the integration and continue the development because the views integration was not finished, so he continued. Yeah, Sebastian doesn't have any better profile. Yeah, that's Tronny. Is filmed? Yeah, good. These are a few resources. I'm gonna share this presentation later. And yeah, there are a few resources if you want to read more about web services, Drupal 8 integration. And yeah, those are a few issues that are important. If you want to help tomorrow in the code sprints, join the code sprints. Not I kill you. Good. And any questions before the demo? I have time. How is the time for me? 10 minutes, 15 minutes? Yeah, good. So we have 10 minutes, approximately 15 minutes for the demo. But questions?
How do you secure the REST API?
You have authentication. I didn't explain that too much, but you have different ways of authentication.
Token, basic.
Yeah, you have that's country module, but right now in core you have basic authentication that you send the user a password in plain text, and that's perfect. That's super secure. Or you can use cookie authentication, or you just install OAuth and then you just use real authentication. And I guess it's pretty much finished the work of the country module, so right now I guess you can start to use it. And then you use more or less the same authentication system like Twitter, Facebook, these platforms. That's good. Questions? No? Anyway, you can catch me later, and then we can just have a discussion with some beers, lunch, or... Okay, I'm gonna try to do a demo, and let's see how this works. I'm gonna mess again with the screen. I'm gonna move this lot. So, how can we do this? You have a hands-free mic? Okay, then I'm gonna do it this way. Press it. I don't know. Can you see this? Is that enough?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So, yeah, I'm gonna wipe. This is a Drupal site that already exists somewhere here. Where is my? This is the GraphQL JS. And it's really good because it has Star Wars sample data. That's pretty neat because then you can just query some content samples using Star Wars characters and this stuff. Just have a look at that one. So, no. Okay. Let me check this. I'm gonna wipe out this site so you can see that I'm not cheating. Yeah, I'm just replacing the settings file with the default one. Okay. And I'm gonna wipe. Don't look at my password, please. I'm just dropping the database. Okay, so I'm not cheating. It says password in command line is insecure. So and then I'm gonna do an installation using Drush. Okay, then you can see that I use Drupal 8 database. And again, don't look at my password, super secure password. I'm gonna change this name so you can see that I'm not cheating. Drupal, let's see, Headless. Okay, so it's gonna take a couple of minutes, even less, to install. So right now, you know this site, and I'm gonna wipe it out. Takes a while. It's working, trust me. Yeah. So I just refresh here. Yep. And this is the site. So I'm not cheating. So let's start from scratch. The first thing we are going to do is to enable the modules, the web services modules that they are here. This is a new feature in. It was a country module in Drupal 7. That is a new feature in Drupal 8. That's super good. But anyway, I'm gonna enable a few of them. So I'm gonna show you. These are all the web services. As I said, HTTP authentication, and then provide authentication for basic app. We are gonna use it. We are gonna use the RESTful web services and also serialization to use JSON. Yes, HAL. Yeah, probably we're gonna use HAL. So let's start everything. Yeah. So right now is the modules are enabled. So we should be able to access the information using core or something. Right now we don't have information, so I'm gonna create it. Let's use, for example, SL Ipsum. Yeah. I like Ipsums, so this is one of my favorites. Okay, this is not safe for work, so don't use it at work, even for a production project. So I'm gonna create a couple of nodes, so we can use them later. Yeah, this is one. I'm gonna generate more. I'm gonna create another one. Yeah, more or less a couple of nodes. That's enough. More than enough. Then I go to content here. By the way, can you see this? Or is super? Yeah, probably. Okay. So we have a node 1 and node 2. Maybe I can do this. It's much better. Yeah. Node 1 and node 2. And let's try to access. So right now I have a sheet here. So let's read one of the nodes first. I do this, and then I'm gonna say that I'm gonna read the node 1, and then I do that, and then I get this. Anybody knows why I get this? Yeah, permissions. Remember permissions. So I go to people, permissions, and then there's a section here, somewhere. Yeah, here, RESTful web services, and then you have all these permissions that are not set. So for example, right now I'm trying to get, as an anonymous user, I'm doing a get request, so that's why it's not working. So I'm gonna enable this, and only delete, batch, and post for authenticated users. More or less that's the setup that we're gonna have. Save the permissions, now I repeat the query, and then I get a lot of crap, okay? So now we got the information of a module, and then you can see that there is some, so this is the real. So let's do something. For example, let's create a node, okay? And in this case, so you can see that I'm not cheating. So it's an entity, Drupal, you can see Drupal 8 entity node. I'm gonna create a node. And here I explain the type of node that I'm gonna create. This is a page. I can replace it by article. I can create a node of type article or anyone. And then node create, this is gonna be the title. And I'm gonna change other, and that's all. There we go. And then we got a 201 created. So if I come here to content, then we have, look at this. Yeah. So yeah, using core you can create one. let's do more stuff here. Let's update it. And then the same. What I'm doing right now is, as I say later, this is the user authentication, super secure. And I'm gonna update the node 2, in this case is the node 3, okay? Because I want to update the one that I created. So I want to update the node 3, you have to specify what kind of entities, and then we are gonna create, and we are gonna update, not update the secure, because Drupal runs. Okay? And then you have 200, that's good. And then I'm gonna refresh, and then you have that updated. And finally, I'm gonna delete it. Okay, this is the node 3, and just delete with the user super secure user password. I do this, and then I got a 200, and it means that if I refresh here, this page is not found. If I go to content, there's nothing. Right now, we know how to create entities. It works for blogs, users, taxonomy terms, for everything, or even your custom entities, so it works perfect. But let's go for more good stuff. Let's go to views, and let's create a view. Yeah, view name. Let's say that is our API, or content API. Okay, that's the view name. And then we are gonna just show all the content that we have. And as I said, this is the nice feature provided by Peter. And then we do like API/content. Okay? So this is gonna be the end point of our API. Save. And right now you can see that we get, this is the preview, and then API/content, we get this information, that those are node information. So you can see that we are using the serializer to provide different syntax. In this case, we're going to use JSON as the format. Then we change the format from HAL to JSON. But still, there is too much information here, so I don't want that for my API. So let's say that, okay, I don't want to show the whole entity, I'm going to show fields. Okay? And there is one field by default, and then we are not going to use the alias yet, and I'm going to show it later. And we are going to use the row output. Let's say that we are going to use the row output first, so it's just going to strip all the information that we want. So we have this right now, only the title of the two nodes that are in the platform in Drupal. So let's add also the body. Okay? I add the body. Yeah, by default, I don't touch anything. And then you can see that we have the title and the body with some crappy stuff here. You can just provide the body, I guess, with I guess there is something here to just strip HTML tags. So right now, yeah, right now it's super clean with no HTML and nothing. So I'm gonna save it. And our API content is the endpoint. So let's do a GET request for that endpoint. GET is gonna be a read. And the only thing that we have to change is the format. We're going to use JSON. And it was API/content, yes. Yep. And then we get the JSON that we want. Good. Okay, let's do it better. Let's do it using, instead using core, let's use an Angular application. I have no Angular, React. I have a React tutorial right now, and you can see its comments, blah, blah, blah. This React tutorial was just the Git repository of the React tutorial that is in React, the official React GitHub repository. I just cloned the React tutorial. I didn't do anything else. So right now, I'm gonna go to where the React tutorial is. I'm going to public, and you can can see that there is some stuff here, but I'm gonna do this sample. That is the sample we're using. So you can see that here is the React component. But what it does is just reads comments or something, and also you are able to create new comments. I'm going to show you how to read them. So this is the render method for this component. In this case, it's trying to find the Drupal/API comments, but it's going to go to content. Okay? So if I do that and then I refresh, what I get? I can show you. We get tons of errors here because it's trying to find something that is not existing. I can tell you why. It's because it's trying to find this author here, author and text. This is the name of the fields that it's trying to find. So just quick and dirty fix is instead using title and body. Okay, we go here and we use an alias and we say that it was author and text. So let's do it this way: author and text. Okay, so right now you can see author and text here. I save, and should it work? Yes, that's great. Yeah, it's working. But to show you that really is working, I'm gonna separate this window with the Super React application here. I'm gonna separate this one here. And what we are gonna do is I'm gonna create, let me close this. I'm gonna create a new node here, and then you can see how the React application access it. So let's create an article. Say yep, and then save and publish, and it appears in the React. That's all. Questions? I have time for questions.
Couple of minutes. 1 minute.
1 minute, then perfect. Then it's good. So, who found this? Okay. Yeah.
I'm sorry, my question has nothing to do with your presentation. I'm just wondering if you prefer React or Angular.
Depending on the, for example, actually I'm working in a project in my company, and we have on the table we have the to pick up a choice like Angular, React, Ember, or Backbone. We decided to go with Backbone previously because I have experience with Backbone. Then I hate React, I hate Angular because right now Angular 2 is super good, but we are still in Angular 1.5. They're still working in the migration, in the upgrade path, but it's not finished, and nobody knows when Angular 2 is going to be ready. So I say, yeah, it's the same situation when people say, yeah, Drupal 7 or Drupal 8 projects, when Drupal 8 was still in beta. So I decided to go with Backbone. But if you say React or Angular, for me they are different. React is like how you say that, to build components. You don't build a single page application. So you build small components that you can reuse in your Angular application, for example. So that's what the React is for. So I love React, but it's not for a single page applications only. So it's really good to build components that you can reuse later. More questions? Do you like the presentation for the years? Yeah. So come to the code experience if you want to see more stuff, and just bother me anytime. Okay, I'm gonna be around. Thank you.
For the talk, let's have a short 10-minute break. After that, we have Rob talking about communication with the designers and developers. And upstairs, there is a room for if you need to work. To get a quiet room upstairs, there is a conference room for that. Thank you.
Drupal is people. Drupal is contribution. Drupal is community. Drupal is technology. Drupal 8 is made by us for you. Thank you, everyone who contributed in any way to making Drupal what it is today. All right. That's it again.
Drupal 8 is made by us for you.
It is community software, backed by us, the Drupal community.
Tens of thousands of developers, companies,
organizations, and individuals from around the world.
We build Drupal to empower everyone.
Not just developers, to communicate and shape the future.
And realize your visions in the digital world.
Drupal 8 is made by us for you.
More than 3,000 of us have contributed code.
And thousands more have contributed in other ways to Drupal 8 over the last 5 years.
Building on more than a decade of previous Drupal community development.
We have also combined forces and shared technology
with thousands of our friends in other open source software communities
to bring you Drupal 8.
Well, who uses Drupal?
Individuals, schools, and community groups use Drupal to build communities.
Drupal helps governments, universities, charities, humanitarian groups,
and non-governmental organizations communicate with their constituents and improve the world.
Everyone, from startups to some of the biggest companies in the world,
are building our digital future with Drupal.
Drupal is people. Drupal is community. Drupal is contribution. Drupal is technology.
Drupal 8 is made by us for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for contributing to Drupal in any way and for making Drupal what it is today.
Hi, I'm Nico. I'm from Vienna. Do you want to know why I think Drupal is an awesome system? It's an easy answer. We got rid of lots of old crap. It's fast and flexible. Symfony and Twig are in core. Everything is fresh and object-oriented code. It was a long and hard way, but finally we are there. And we have the best community of the world, so join us.
Hello everyone, welcome to Leeds. I'm Andrew, and to celebrate the release of Drupal 8, I've come back to Woodhouse Community Centre, where I first learned to use Drupal nearly 8 years ago. So, the new release is out, and across the world developers are gushing about cache tags, but I want to celebrate Drupal 8's accessibility features. A great deal of effort has gone into making sure that it works well with screen readers, and the keyboard experience is a dream. We've got the toolbar menu, modal dialogues that work well with screen readers, even the level of detail that's gone into error messages and form elements. All of this matters so if you want to make as many people be able to use it as possible. Whether you're a small organisation like a community centre or a huge enterprise with tens of thousands of users on an intranet, having an accessible CMS helps you keep and retain the right people on your team. And so that's why I'm really proud to be part of a project that has kept accessibility front and centre. So celebrate D8 with all of us.
Amla here from Chennai in the south of India. It is a proud moment for all of us in the Drupal community to have Drupal 8 launch ready. Drupal 8 aligns itself closer to the needs of today's businesses and is going to find a key role in the digital strategy of enterprises. Here in India, before any big launch, we always pray to Lord Ganesha. We invoke him to remove all obstacles and make a big success of all our launches. Here is a small prayer to the Lord for the success of Drupal 8.
Your seats will be starting soon with our next presentation. Alright, hello everyone. Glad you could all make it. There seems to be a signal problem, just a moment. Let's see if we can make that happen again. Maybe not. Yes. Beautiful. Alright, hi everyone. I'm Eero Mäkelä. I'm a body designer. I'm basically in the marketing team, but I go around pretty much everywhere, also in the UX team and the developers, and our like client cases also like pretty much everywhere. I'm a so-called full stack designer, which is kind of like a title that's been roaming around the interweb like in the past maybe half a year or so. It's basically what it means is a designer who also does code and pretty much like goes everywhere he just like wants to go in a way. When it comes to Drupal, I've also like done like some cases with Drupal 7 in my past. I used to be an entrepreneur. I did client cases. I did all kinds of different kinds of like touch interfaces. I've done websites, all kinds of stuff, and it's been a long ride, and I pretty much like to do all kinds of stuff. So basically, I will quickly go through like why you should, or actually before I start, I would like to ask you, how many of you are developers who like to design as well? Hands up, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, something like that. Okay, nice, all right. Well, it's becoming even more and more like common that like developers start to actually like move on to design as well, and designers starts to move into a more hybrid developer stance as well, because it's the demands of the like work that we do has become like more higher than it used to be. So that's why it's more common to see even more and more like hybrids who basically can go both ways. But I will talk about like how basically you don't need that. So you know, it's actually better that you are specialized, you know your stuff, and you just work together with people who also know their stuff. Results of better communication. Why should you do that? Well, first of all, it's all about quality. It's about producing better products for the clients, be it a website, be it an app, doesn't matter. It's about teamwork, you know, making basically collaboration a sense of like the firm spirit, instead of it just like being something that you have to do when it comes to like developer and design, like communication. The whole team being more up to date on progress, that's a very important thing. So basically, if you communicate more, you are in touch more with your fellow like designers, you will be more up to date on the client work. So you know, it being like more like a state of mind inside in your head, it will make it more easier to be like up to date on the, you know, like progresses on different like client projects. Quality assurance, for sure, no question about it. Better understanding of the client's needs.
let's say that the client sends an email to either the designer or the developer, and they get confused. Then going through it with your fellow designer might help your situation. You might actually get a point of view that you would have definitely not thought of. Okay, here's a little bit of a magic circle of successful end result. So basically, what do you need to make a successful end result? What do you need to make a successful end product? It will definitely demand the user experience and the design talents of a designer and the tech part of the developer. And together with combining these two instances by sharing ideas and being open and being social and being just respectful to the other parts will definitely make your work better and make the end result better. Mixing it together with business models, well, some designers are even more going through when it comes to UX and when it comes to visualizations and stuff like that, you also go through branding, and you go through what the client wants and what the client wants to see and stuff like that. So designer might sometimes have also that business knowledge, and of course the developer too. So, but from a different point of view. So both of these mindsets, which I will go through pretty soon, are very different, but they are not separate necessarily, because they can combine in a very beautiful way to make better end results. So what makes communication difficult? Well, like I talked about different mindsets. Well, this is pretty much it. So developers, they tend to concentrate more on what kind of technical qualities does the website or the app have? Is it fast enough? Can we reduce latency? That sort of stuff. Designers, they focus on the usability of it. They focus on the look of it. They want it to be something that the client wants to look and the client wants to see, and more from the points of how it behaves and how it responds to certain action, during certain actions and stuff like that. Neither designers nor developers alone can see the whole picture. So that's why it's very important for both to combine their powers in a way to make something beautiful happen. Mostly it's about misinformation and knowing just the other side. So basically, what it means is that usually you know something that they don't, the designers don't, but the designers know something that you don't. So knowing that and understanding that and accepting will make it a lot easier to be open with the other part. So what are the two worlds? So you basically have different languages that the coder knows, and different technical sides that the designer definitely doesn't know about, and telling about these sides. So for example, when it comes to Drupal, you have a lot of modules that you use in your process, and certain modules that you prefer to use instead of some other ones, be it social media modules or whatever. There's a lot of dynamic interaction modules that you probably might even use also. Telling that to the designer and telling what this what are the possibilities of these modules will definitely make things easier for you and the designer to produce the best possible result for the end client. Here's something basically just some mentioned in a way, and understanding that what these worlds are will make the communication easier, and having the willingness to understand and having the respect for the other part will definitely make the communication easier. Practical examples. For example, responsive design. It's pretty much the norm nowadays. You rarely do adaptable design anymore, which basically means that it just like goes like like a different site in a sense, when you go like through like to mobile and so on and so on. So responsive design is the norm right now, and Drupal 8 has a very good like foundation for that, or better at least than 7. So that's definitely interesting and worth like checking out and going through with the designer. So if Drupal 8 in your developer like mind seems like a better option, you should definitely like go through it with your designers and like check it out if you can like somehow like make it work even better and even more efficient. Designing user flows and personas, well, this is like more on the client side, but for example, we in Vaadin, we think a lot about like how we can make the flow of the whole like using experience like even more like enhanced and like more beautiful and more like sleek and more fast and stuff like that. Personas, what kind of people are using the site, what kind of like demands these people have, figuring that stuff out will definitely like be a teamwork effort instead of like just figuring stuff out by yourselves. The need for even more dynamic interfaces, it's basically another way of making a quality product in a way, because nowadays dynamic interfaces are becoming more and more like common. You do a lot of like stuff that, because the web is developing, so like taking that into Notion and trying to be even more and more like up ahead the curve in the way will definitely like make your product more like developed. Designing interactive behavior on the site or just small things. For example, when you have like the finished product in a sense and you have sent it to clients, and then after that you go through the small bits in a way, like small interactions, how something hovers and like click behavior and stuff like that. Going through that with the designer will definitely like make it more like better looking, make it more like just impressive in the client's mind. Advanced usability and user interface actions. This is something that we in Vaadin kind of like specialize in. We really put like a lot of effort into making the UX like the best what it can be, because that is something that basically sells our products. That's like the one thing that kind of separates us from like just normal like business app, web app side, like companies. There's a lot of other practical examples, but these are just a few, and there's definitely like a lot of things that you can take advantage of when you are working together with the designer, instead of figuring getting, for example, the normal, very normal, typical workflow will be that the designer makes the the Photoshop like layouts, and then he sends it to the developer, and the developer does it, and that's it. It's like that's very shallow. It's very shallow. It's not deep at all. It's not going to what the client needs and what the client wants, and how can we improve the client's website at the moment. It's about we have made an offer, the client has accepted it, and let's just get it done with, in a sense. It will definitely demand more time, making communication together with the designer, because it takes some time, because it starts off, it would be really good that in the beginning especially it's about over communicating, making it like every day you talk with the designer, you even sit down with the designer and you talk about some client work, and you go through what kind of things we could do together, how can we improve this and this, how can we make things together to make the end result the best possible. Fundamentals, okay, I a little bit talked about this already, but empathy, openness, collaboration, shared understanding, that is basically the essence of everything, having a work environment where you can feel that everyone is in touch with each other, and you know, we do this together instead of like as separate parts of the company. You have, if you have designers working from a distance, let's say that you have outsourced your design work, you will never ever get the, you know, the end results that you could actually get by, you know, connecting in-house designers and developers together and making them work together. Because it's always going to lack like some parts of the UX side or the visual side. You know, like let's say that you just get the layout from the designer and then you start doing it and then it's done. It's like there's many steps in between that could be done a lot better. And even the designer might have like some more ideas, but because he or she just got like basically like a job, you know, like some job to do, it's different. They will just basically do it and then, you know, send it off. Talk about possibilities of functionalities and be creative together. That's, you know, when it comes to like Drupal modules, you know, go through those modules, check out with the designer, check out what possibilities there could be, you know, using, for example, views in creative ways instead of like, you know, the ways that you have always used views. You know, that's one example. Or, I don't know, using panels in Drupal 7, you know, it's you know, something like that. How can we make it even more like better, you know, when it comes to the final, like, you know, sending it off to the clients and, you know, teaching the client how to work with panels and, you know, everything like that. Figure out your best process. Very, very, very important. So basically, you know, do you want to do the communication through Skype, or do you want to do it like face-to-face, or do you want to, you know, just send messages through like some fast messaging, like you know, like a software or something like that. Well, okay, the latter one, just like sending messages, you know, quick messages, that's not going to do it, because you know, when it comes to face-to-face, like collaboration, it's always going to be a more fluent and more fundamental way. But, you know, always have a goal. When you are meeting together, when you are communicating, have a goal. Have some kind of an idea, you know, where you want to go with this talk. Not just like, okay, so, you know, this guy said, you know, in DrupalCamp that, okay, you know, we should get together and we should talk, you know, talk this through and blah blah blah. No. You need to have like some sort of a goal. You know, you have a client work. You want to take it to the next level. How can we achieve that? How can we, you know, make that happen? Drupal modules. You know, like, you know, how can the designer? What kind of like modules would the designer want there to be on the website? You know, you can't basically expect them to know about Drupal modules. You can't expect them to know about what kind of possibilities there are, because you haven't told them. You haven't basically, you know, you haven't given the possibility for their mind to comprehend, you know, what possibilities there are. So that's why communication is important. That's why, you know, really like getting things to the next level will definitely like be a common effort together. Find your common goals. Yeah, that's pretty much what we already talked about. Learn how to talk colleges think and appreciate their input. Just, you know, respect each other, you know, and really want to work together. Don't just you know, like come to work and you know, like go like, okay, he's doing his design stuff and I'm doing my developer stuff. Be interested about what you're doing together. Be interested about like having a common goal into one direction instead of like working separately on your, you know, separate projects. If you have a client work that you're doing together, you know, like be involved, get involved, respect the other person's, you know, like talents and the other person's skill sets, and, you know, respect the way that you should make everything, your every, you know, bit of effort to make the clients have the best end product. That's pretty much it. I wanted to keep this brief because I know you probably are all hungry and, you know, ready to go lunch and stuff like that, although there was pretty good like service upstairs, but still. Any questions? Maybe bring it on if you have it in you. Go for it.
How would you motivate a designer if if we have a designer who's, you know, set in their ways and isn't really accepted to new technologies or, let's say, responsive design. If we have designers who are like, well, screw that, who needs that? And they, how do you motivate others?
Well, that's a tough question, because it basically, you know, comes from the designer to the willingness to basically, it's the same thing as developers, you know. Some developers are stuck in their own, you know, like ways, for example, using pixels instead of EMs, or, you know, like persons, or, you know, like, you know, still not using fluid frameworks instead of you know, like fixed frameworks, something like that, you know. Same thing goes for designers. Some designers are just bad, for example. You know, there's a lot of bad designers out there. And what actually like makes a good designer is the willingness to learn. Like, for example, a developer too. You know, learning new languages for a designer, you know, going into like to a responsive design workflow. The same thing, or, you know, like, you know, making even, you know, for designers who want to be better, they need to go into, you know, like making interactive showcases, for example, of how they should do, like you know, because it's also about communication. If you can make a prototype that is interactive to the developer, they will understand like 100% what you're after, and you will, you know, definitely make a better end product. But designers, you know, if a designer is bad, then, you know, hire a new one or kick it out or something like that. But no, okay, I'm not suggesting that. But you know, basically, what I mean is that there definitely will be like it's not about designers or developers. It's about people. You know, like you have some people who are just either stuck up or you know, just caught up in their ways, and you can't do anything about that. So I don't know if I answered your question, but how to motivate designers? Maybe, well, having a good work environment is definitely like one step up. So, you know, like being open and being like you know, like interested about their work also, and, you know, like maybe try to diplomatically, you know, like
you know, talk down on them.
What?
Talk down to them and
talk down.
That's
always challenging. But yeah, it's difficult. But when it comes to like collaboration, it needs the effort of both, of course. It's the same as, you know, in relationships. You know, it's like, you know, it can't be just one-sided. You know, you have to respect the other party, and you have to, you know, listen to the other party with intent, not just like, okay, whatever, you know. Yeah. Any other questions? Follow-up question, maybe? I don't know. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, thanks Eero for that great presentation. And now, yeah, it's pretty much lunchtime, and I think our Ville has some kind of instructions on how to get to this magical lunch place. So, go ahead.
So the big questions at the moment is how to get the food, and it's not served here, it's different house. So we are there, here. Go out that door, you will become here, just walk 1 block away, food is there. Go in. There is some text, daily farm or something. And when you go in, you get there. There is 2 rooms just for us, place to eat. And actually you walk through to the deadline, and you take food there, and when you take your food, you go to that lady, there. She was there 5 minutes ago. And because you have a better ticket, you don't have a better lunch anymore, so you use the magic word for the lady, DrupalCamp. And she allows you to go to the place to sit down. Clear? Yes. Great. And we will be back at 2:30 when we have next speak. And there will be the cafe upstairs all the time. And the door will be open, so go to lunch, come back, take the coffee, do something. Let's go to lunch.
Hello, we're the Drupal community of Athens, Greece.
We are really excited for Drupal 8 because
it comes with more than 200 features and improvements.
It can interact with countless applications thanks to its REST-first web services.
We can break free from backend restrictions by using progressive decoupling.
It has improved accessibility and security.
It provides more simplicity
to editors and managers.
It is more friendly for modern devices and SEO.
It has a new cool theme engine.
It is the fastest Drupal ever yet.
It's built from the community.
So stay tuned because Drupal 8 rocks.